The most common thing that we have on our website are boxes with text in them. The text is formatted in something called HTML, and DotNetNuke has a built-in editor for editing HTML. It's a very commonly used control throughout DotNetNuke, so learning how to use this one control will allow you to use it in many different modules. For our example, I'm going to go ahead and open up and say edit the HTML. This opened the HTML editor. The editor looks a lot like a standard word processor. The editor can be put into one of two modes. You can be in basic text box mode, which is not very useful for us when we're doing HTML. What we want to be is in rich text editor. You can see a menuing system up here. It works just like most word processors. However, you're not going to find a save button. To save this document, you need to use the save button that is for the module, and you usually find that at the bottom of the page. So you'll need to scroll this down a little bit and find the save button or the cancel button down here. We'll talk about the preview button a little bit later. I'm going to scroll this window back up. If you find that this window is not large enough, you can make the window bigger using the full screen control here, and you can bring it back down to size using the same control. If you hit the X, that will close this window, and that's equivalent to hitting the cancel button. So if you've opened this and didn't intend to open this, you can just hit the cancel button like this, and no harm, no foul. Okay? Let's go back to edit content. I'm going to make this full screen again. I can also elect to make the text box even larger by hitting this full screen toggle button, and that makes the word processor pretty much fill my entire screen. Note, however, that I'm unable to get to any of the controls, such as the save control, from this screen. In order to find the save control again, I need to use this same button to toggle out of full screen mode. Now I have access to the save and cancel buttons. Now, one little gotcha that I'm going to show you real quick is if I now minimize the outside window, you could end up in the instance where all of the text is being cut off and it's giving you a scroll bar here. It's a little bit irritating when this happens, but the fix is really easy as long as you know how to do it. You just toggle full screen mode up and down, and then that will put the control correctly onto this little page. And again, you can see I can scroll down and find save and cancel. Easy enough. Let's do some common tasks that you would like to accomplish while editing your HTML. Let's start out by, let's put the first robotics competition logo in this particular screen. So I'm going to go find a spot for it up here at the top. I'm going to go to Image Manager. It's up here under Insert Media, Image Manager. We'll have a map for where to find things later, but at the moment I'm going to go to Logos, and I'm going to come down and I want to pick an FRC logo that has a white background, that has no text, and I'll show you what that means here in just a sec. No text, there we go. So it doesn't say First Robotics Competition down here at the bottom, so that's what no text means. It's about 100 pixels square, and it has a white background, so we like that logo. I'm going to come over here to this control under Properties, and I can mess with some of its properties if I want. For the reality is to be very simple with this. We'll go with Image Alignment. I would like it to be aligned on the right side of the page. And you can kind of leave the rest of this alone, and then I'm going to press Insert. And you can see that gave me a nice little FRC logo off to the side. So there you've just seen how to insert a logo. Same process works for inserting any image, any picture. Let's come down a little bit, and let's say that I would like to add a link, and I would like to say you can find more information at. Now, we have a lot of pages on our website. There's a couple hundred of them. If you would like to link to one of them, you can click on Custom Links, and you can see if you expand portal links, you'll find all of the pages that are on our website are under here. And so we can create a very quick link to things. So for example, under FRC, here's the team fact. So there, I have just inserted a link to another page on our website. That was really very easy, and I didn't have to do too much to make that happen. What if you need to insert a link to an external website? Let's link, for example, to the US First website. You can find the US First website at, well, now we need to go find it. So there's a thing called Hyperlink Manager, and that will allow me to set up a hyperlink. We are going to go to www.usfirst.org. That's our link. And a lot of times we just go ahead and copy and paste as the link text, the actual link. And we'll come back and edit this in a moment, and I'll show you some other options. And we also a lot of times like to set this to new window. If you set target to new window, when the user clicks on the link, a new window will appear and they won't lose their place on our website. If you leave it as none, when they click, they will be taken away from our website. You'll have to decide whether that's right for your situation or not. Okay? So I can now hit OK, and you can see that it's now created a link to the US First website. You can also edit a link if it isn't working or something. You can right-click on it and do Properties, and that'll bring up this Hyperlink Manager again. And let's say rather than showing the actual link text, I would like to say click here for the US First website. Now this is the text, link text, and that's what actually appears on the page. The link itself, the web address hasn't changed. And I'm also going to change it to being open in a new window. Hit OK on that, and you can see that's changed the text. So that's how I would create a link to an external website. Another thing that you oftentimes want to do is you'll want to have a link to a file that's on our website. You can find a link to the game description here. And so here I can use the Insert Document Manager, and that will allow me to go to, let's go down to FRC files. And I happen to know that if I look in FRC 2012, there's a one-pager for the game. Okay, and you can see it's a link to a PDF file. Again, you can set a target if you want it to open in a separate window. You just say New Window. And you just hit Insert, and there you go. Now we've just inserted a link to a document on our website. At this point, I'm kind of happy with what I'm seeing so far, so I am going to go ahead and scroll down here and hit Save, and that'll save the current contents of this file. And you can see it's starting to look a little better. It's got the logo, and it's got our links in it. I'm going to go ahead and open this back up, and we're going to edit just a couple more things. Specifically, we are going to come down and hit Control A, and I'm going to type in I messed up this page. Okay, that's kind of a weird edit, but I'm going to show you why I did that. It turns out that the HTML control has the ability to do an undo after you've saved the file. And it's really kind of nice because you can actually do what's called versioning control. So if I completely screw up a page, I can actually go back up to 5 previous saves to restore what I've accidentally done. So if you mess something up, go to Manage, Edit Content. Okay, so here's my messed up page. If I scroll down, I'm going to find this thing called Version History. So I'm going to click on Version History. And if I scroll down a little farther, you can see that there are currently 4 versions of this control. It'll save up to 5 of them. If I'm currently looking at version 4, and if I realize that I've messed up and I would like to go back to version 3, what I can do is I can come over here and click on Preview version 3, and here it's going to show you the contents that would get restored. This is the version that I'd like to go back to because it had all our pretty links and pictures. So again, I'm going to scroll down here to the bottom, and I'm going to go over here to number 3, and I'm going to hit the rollback feature. And you can see it has saved a new version. So if I now cancel out of this, you'll see that I've gotten my original text back. So bottom line, if you don't panic if you've made a mistake or made a mess out of something, with the HTML control, and this actually only applies to the HTML control that we're editing here, you get the chance to go back 5 versions to recover things. So we're going to go back and edit one more time. Edit content. I'm going to make this full screen so we can get this to be a little bigger. Now, other things that I might need to do is what if you need to create a table of things? Let's say I have a list of things that I know I need. I'm going to have a column that has who, what, and where. So that requires 3 columns across, and I would like to have, I'm just going to put in 3 rows. So I can come up here to insert table, and I can make myself a 3x3 table by kind of stretching this out, and I can click on here. And if you come down, you can see I've just created a 3x3 table. So I can say who, and I can say what, and I can say where. And so maybe Kevin Reed is going to bring cookies to the Microsoft meeting. And let's say that Lindy Baker is going to eat cookies at the Microsoft meeting. That works out nicely. So I can also format this table a little bit. If I right click on it, I can get table properties. There are some very basic and simple layouts that you can use. These are pre-canned. It makes it rather easy. You can control whether the first column is highlighted, for example, or the last row or the last column are called out separately. So we're going to do a simple table like this, and I can hit OK. So that's looking pretty good. I can also come up here and decide that I would like all of these to be bold, makes it a little more readable. And I can also go back to table properties, and I can change the cell padding and cell spacing if needed. If you don't know what those are and this table looks fine to you, you're fine just to leave it alone. So I just have a couple last things to show you. There is another mode that you can put the editor into. If you need to, you can click on HTML. This will allow you to edit the raw HTML for the page. If you don't know how to do this, don't worry about it. It is certainly not necessary. There's another thing called preview mode, which will get rid of all of the little marks. It's very similar to design mode, but it just it shows you what should appear on the screen. Because when you watch, if I click back to design, you can see that a few little things changed, like the table here, and there's some other decorations that change a little bit. Okay, now I'm ready to save this. Remember, I can't get at my save control, so I have to pop out of full screen, and I'm now going to save this. And here is our new page, and it's got our little table down here at the bottom. So now we have seen how to edit HTML, how to insert a picture, how to insert links. It's all really pretty straightforward. Feel free to play around with these controls. You're welcome to create pages on any of our website author test pages. Don't worry about messing up anything on the website author's test pages. They're all free game for you to use.